Hello everyone, it's Handy Danny, and what I'm doing here now is I got my casing up. If you haven't seen this video, it's going to be linked in the description. It'll be a card above, okay? And what I'm doing, I've already done here is I put the casing up, and now I'm about to install the door, and I'm about to prep the door. So what I have here is an 1/8 inch bit. It doesn't really matter what type of bit you have as long as it's not going to fulfill the whole entire hole, because the screw that I'm going to put in here is to this degree, okay? So something a little smaller. I put my hinge on the door and I just poke a hole. Just pre-drill, because you will crack these doors if you don't pre-drill. And you really want to make sure you try to get to the center as much as possible. So this one right here, take this hinge off. All right, one more to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hinge on the door. Then I'm working with the number 3. When I throw those screws, I'm working with the number 2. And I'm going to throw my screws. And you have to be very careful not to overdo these screws, because you will strip out the screw. The screws are not the best screws. They're not the best screws. They're not the most sturdiest screws. So they will strip easy. So honestly, it's a little better if you did it with a drill versus an impact. But I know where to stop. And if you're skilled and you know where to stop hitting that screw, feel free to do it with an impact. So you see that screw right there started to strip when I had a little bit of trouble. So now I'm just going to take my next hinge, open it up, make sure the logo PBB for these type of hinges is facing up. Make sure that hinge doesn't move on you. All right, we got one more hinge to install. When your hinges are cut properly, you see the hinge kind of set in there without me having to really hold it. And that's what you want. All right, so now we got our door prefab ready to hang, okay? You always want to make sure that your hinges are pushed in. Now, what I'm about to put into the frame here is this small little,
I didn't get that.
This small little screw. Okay, so this small little screw, and here's a pack of them right here. Okay, I put these in my pocket. Always prep yourself. You can get yourself in trouble to where if you don't prep, your screws are all the way over here. You got the door holding up here, and now you can't reach your screws. So what I'm gonna do, kind of grab this door, I line it up, and I take one hinge, make sure none of them fly out on you, because if one gets behind here, you got to take the entire door off just to get it back here, okay? So as I bring it back, I line it up. I have it lined up pretty good. I have my air shims here. You can use a crowbar. Pump up my air shim. Okay, so I got my shims about right where I want them. Take this a couple more times. Okay, so I have my hinge about lined up. Scoot this door back a little bit. Okay, I have it about lined up where I need it. So now, I got my drill hanging off my hip here. Bring the door, do a little bit of a balancing act. Once you get one screw in there, it's pretty much, the door is gonna hold. All right, so now, what you wanna use really is a drill, because the impact will strip these screws really fast, and then that screw will start turning inside there, and you don't want that at all. So now we got the door really hanging up there. I can kind of adjust this guy, this one right here. Kind of fight the door a little bit, get it lined up. Trust and believe, I've been the guy who's had to take these doors down and the screws were stripped out. And it's no fun. You have to drill out that screw. So think about the next man when you actually go to put these screws in that possibly might take the door down one day. So now I can release my bags, keep those to the side there. And now we start to check our reveal. So I'm gonna go out here. So now this needs to kick over. So what I'm gonna do now real quick is I'm gonna loosen up my header because I need a little bit of room here. So thank God we only put 2 screws in there versus 4, because it's not gonna take so long to take it down and you're not doing the work over and over again. So now what we need to do is need to kick this up a little bit. And let me get my piece of wood. I need to get up a little higher. Okay, so my frame here is I want to adjust it back a little bit, okay? So now, let me check. All right, we're getting closer. So now, So now we need to slide the frame this way, just a hair, and we need to slide the frame so get it lined up. I can take it up. You can see my frame is being kicked back. Okay, and I might not have to move that header. Actually, I will. Okay, so now that I have a pretty good reveal starting to happen here, okay, so I got my reveal going. Everything's good, everything's tight right here. As you can see this right here, you can see how everything is really starting to match up, and I have a small gap right here. And we're gonna fight for that, and we're gonna try to get that cleaned up. But as you come inside, what we're gonna do, we're gonna close our door, and from the inside, we're looking at our reveal. So this right here, this reveal is what we want all the way around to some degree. So this right here is pretty good. I can kind of tug on that a little bit, and I can actually take this frame down a little bit, but we're trying to get our reveal here as well.